Currency of the week, pound dollar. It's all about the elections. If for the non-farm payrolls, it's all about the wages. Here, it's all about the elections. 8 days to go. Every opinion poll matters. The opinion polls have more impact than any economic figures. I prepared this slide yesterday, and since then, indeed, we had this YouGov poll published on the Sunday Times. So any economic data, PMIs, which are of importance to the US economy, they will probably have some kind of an impact, but a very short-lived one. So here we have the two contenders, Prime Minister Theresa May and Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn. All in all, markets want a Tory landslide. Why? Markets in general prefer right-wing governments. They're seen as more pro-market, okay? It doesn't work in all cases. Markets did want initially Clinton to win, but in this case, conservatives are seen as pro-market. There are hopes that with the big mandate, if Theresa May, Prime Minister May, wins a big majority in Parliament, she'll have less problems, especially from her own party, especially from those saboteurs of Brexit, and she could make a U-turn. She could make a U-turn to a soft Brexit. Okay, she made a U-turn on other issues. She could do that here as well. A narrow majority means more pressure from those Brexiteers, such as Boris Johnson and his friends. Labour, on the other hand, does not offer a better Brexit. Jeremy Corbyn is not Tony Blair. Jeremy Corbyn is not Gordon Brown. And the stance on Brexit is not very different. Okay, the only party that really has a different approach to Brexit is the Liberal Democrats, but they're a small party and they're not expected to have an impact. Maybe they'll gain some seats, but not too much. Okay, so polls show Con. You may see it many times. Con is short for Conservatives, also called the Tories, leading Labour, LAB, by 6 to 12%, which is quite a big margin, of course. So polls are all over the place. 6% means an absolute majority, but a narrow one. Okay, so more of the same currently. The Conservatives have a small majority in Parliament. 6%, 12% means a big landslide, again of, 90 seats, which could let May do whatever she wants. 3% more or less means a hung Parliament. What I put here is this YouGov poll that shows the Tories falling short of an absolute majority, so only 310 seats, short of 326. And Labour, on the other hand, also not winning, staying behind. That means that there will have to be some kind of a coalition, a hung Parliament, and a long period of negotiations. And uncertainty is the worst thing that can happen for the pound. Okay, regarding the elections, we'll do a preview also next week, but do a quicker preview this time. The expectations will be shaped up by the final polls. If we have a landslide majority for the Conservatives, pound should rise. It'll be a sigh of relief. We'll have 5 years with less political drama in the UK. Remember, we had elections. We had the Brexit vote last year. 2 years ago, we had elections like these ones in the UK. 3 years ago, we had the Scottish referendum. Markets are a bit tired of that. If we have a narrow majority, pound is stuck, a bit uncertain, maybe even falls. Basically, at least it's more of the same. I would expect it. No big movements. And if we have a hung Parliament like this YouGov poll suggests, then we might see a strong negative reaction, maybe exaggerated by writing here Brexit 2.0. Won't be such a big fall of £1,500, but it's not what markets want to see, let's put it this way. Schedule for next week. We'll do this again, a specific preview of the elections next week, but in general, exit polls are expected at 9 GMT. That's 10 p.m. in the UK. Okay, on Thursday evening, June 8th. They're coming out on very thin trading conditions when only Australia and New Zealand are half awake. At 11 GMT, we'll have initial real results coming from well, in the Brexit vote, it was Sunderland, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, that'll be just the initial drip. More results will come in around midnight GMT, and that's when the volume also rises because Tokyo comes into play by around 6 GMT. So we'll have results coming out throughout the night. Counting is very slow in the UK. Don't know why this happens. In France and Spain, it's much quicker. By 6 in the morning, we'll have full results. And from 7 a.m. GMT on Friday morning, we'll have the full market reaction at the European Open. We'll probably have some statements by the various party leaders. Okay, so that's the schedule. Watch every poll between now and June 8th. I'm not sure about the electoral law in the UK. Polls are forbidden on election day, but I'm not sure if they're allowed on Wednesday, on the day before the elections. Anyway, it's going to be quite exciting. The race has become much closer, meaning much more volatility. I'm all in on volatility. Okay.